finished. He doesn't have the human tenacity to write to a particular people. Matthew writes to Jews because they need a king or Messiah. He wants to introduce the king of the tribe of Judah. Luke writes to a Greek world, an educated, a thinking world, a world that understands what a man ought to be about. And so therefore we see him as the servant of God and the servant of man, going about straightway to take care of the business that God has him to do. Mark sees him as a man, but more than just a man's man, a servant's man, or one that is doing tasks and easy. And so consequently, Mark, being the shortest, just gives the things that he does for other folk, not so much so that we would understand that who he is. But John does not bother with arguing with African Americans, Jews, Gentiles, white folk, black folk, or any kind of folk. John writes for everybody to know that God has come to visit. Here John said, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and that same Word was God. John even says that the Word was made flesh and dwelt among us, and we beheld his glory, the glory as the only begotten of the Father, full of grace and truth. I want to suggest that John is the only one that is able to pierce through what other folk are looking for and give us the insight, understanding of what God is really trying to do for us. John does not waste his time with all of the arguments of what other folk need to get to where Jesus is. He does not deal with them with all of the craziness of the chronology of what folk have done to Christ. He simply tells us that God is turning things around. And might I suggest before I get to it that you're here today because you really wanted to turn your life around. There are three major shifts in this last word that I want to lift. I just want to suggest them and see if you don't see the reverse as they take place. John writes to us that he reverses time. He writes that he reverses tradition and he reverses theology. Time is reversed. Traditions are reversed and theology is reversed. Let me lift it and I'll get out of the way. He reversed time. It is between the 6th and the 9th hour, between 3 in the afternoon, noon and 3 in the afternoon, but it was dark, darker than 1,000 midnights. And it is here that the light of the world goes out. I'm not surprised that it's dark. The sun who spoke life and light into existence is about to be extinguished. And so the sun that he made to shine, and ever since he made it, it's been shining. As a matter of fact, the sun that he made to hold light, because light was before he made the sun. Go back and check Genesis. In the beginning, God said, let there be light, and there was light. But then 3 days later, he comes back and said, let there be moon, sun, and stars, and they hold the light that he had already. Here it is at Calvary that he has to reverse some stuff that has already taken place. It was in the life of Israel that Joshua was in the battle with the Amorites, and the sun was going down on them. And Joshua looked up and said, I can't let them get away. I need some light so I can avenge my enemies. And so he said, son, stand out still. And it did what he said it needed to do. But at Calvary, when the sun should be up, it runs down because the Son of God is being lifted up. He reverses time. It is a reversal that they give him vinegar to drink. This sour wine was for those who were being crucified and and the soldiers that stood around witnessing and causing the crucifixion. The soldiers needed this wine to drink to soothe the conscience of what they were doing. The wine was given to those crucified so that they would last longer, so that they would be refreshed, but at the same time, as they take the wine, that it would dehydrate them and cause them more pain. It was a catch-22 situation. If you drank the wine, it would revive you, but only revive you to live in more pain. Y'all not liking it. It's sort of like the stuff we do. We wake up in the morning only to do what we want to do, only to cause more pain. And y'all not liking it. And so it would take longer if he took the sour wine to die. But Jesus